Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Confused to Focus Talks with Lekeisha. This is a place where we begin to dive into different journeys in order for us to understand how we're stuck and to become unstuck. And I'm so excited for this conversation. My name is Lekeisha Mosley, and I'm an identity and self awareness coach. And, I love the process of beginning to understand how we can be a better us. So I began the journey and understanding for myself how I can continue to be better. So this conversation is going to be enlightening, family, and we're going to be talking about different ways where we can reflect on our progress. I'm going to say that again, reflecting on our progress. So listen, invite this conversation out with your friends and family. Make sure you be taking tune and definitely get your notes paper and get your crayons and get your elements for you to begin the journal, family. This is going to be a great conversation today, and I'm ready to get into it, family. So let's go. I am so excited for us to have this amazing conversation, family, and just to begin to talk about how I personally had to become my own first client. And it was a journey for myself. It was something that I did not accept at first, but it was a humbling journey for me to understand how my life would change drastically forever. So I'm going to take you a story. 4 years ago, I began to have a problem that was coming with my body to where I was cooking, for my family, and I was at the kitchen table. And I began to really just begin to understand what was happening with my body because I passed out. I fell out, family, and I did not understand why I fell out. I literally lost consciousness and my balance. Understanding what happened after a while, I began to realize that something was not aligned well and something was not flowing well with my process. So I began to ask why, what is going on? What is happening here? I am literally cooking for my family and I don't know what is going on. So much to say and so little time to explain. Needless to say, the ambulance was called and I was in a hospital bed. And I was really wondering what was going on and how to proceed and how to understand what did I do wrong. I literally did self-blame. I said something is wrong with myself because I don't understand what is happening. I lost all rights to be able to understand what was going on. I am a strategist at heart, so I began to always figure out what was going on with my body. Make a long story short, the doctor, it took him a while to come in to really give me an update with myself. So he began to do a lot of tests. He began to say, there is something going on with your body and functionings, and we're going to have to do more tests. But I believe there is something going on with your brain and your spine. I believe there's something that's going on that is going to be a diagnosis that was going to change my life. I began to understand that I was diagnosed with a chronic disease that was going to really change my life and my scope of how I began movements now. I began to understand that with my movement, I was going to need assistance. I was going to need a drastic change within my diet, within my functional ability, and I was going to have a long-term therapy when it comes to how I could move again. I needed assistance on how to use the bathroom and how to actually get levels of understanding how to even walk. This is someone that is a military person that only knew how to run, only knew how to win on certain levels, and not understand knowing how to proceed moving forward. So it was something, it was a change in my mindset and processing that I was going to need to help for people and how to live life again. It was almost like learning how to walk for the first time, and how to even talk. I lost my way of speech. I lost even my environment and understand how smells going to be different. And you know, it was literally, I was literally learning like a new baby again, like I said. And so that was really, really confusing to myself. I began to have a cycle of depression, anxiety, and just even understanding even why I can even proceed to live the life that I used to live. I began to realize that things were going to change in my life, and episodes were going to change on how I guide myself moving forward. I could not do the same thing that I used to do, and I could not proceed in the same way. So I needed some assistance on the basic things, fundamentals. I have children, I have a family, and, you know, having those in play, how can I begin to talk to them? I gave birth to them and not realizing that it didn't matter. I was going to need their assistance. You know, I am in a relationship, I'm in marriage, and just having those things, I need some assistance on how to proceed and moving forward. Everything was juggling within my head. And honestly, I was in mad denial, family. I was in denial. So I went through phases of denial. I went through phases of being ashamed. I felt like something was wrong, that I did something wrong. So when you feel like you're doing something wrong, it blocks any access of understanding how I can proceed moving forward. So, with all that being said, I went through a season of not being able to help myself because I still was trying to figure out what was going on with myself. So, I had to begin an acceptance to understand how to accept, how to move forward. So, I went through a process where I began to understand that I needed some coaching. I needed somebody to help me how to proceed moving forward. So it was coaching, not just as far as business, but it was coaching as far as mentally and my mindset, because I was going to need a drastic change of understanding how to proceed moving forward. I needed to learn the basic skills. I needed to learn the basic ways of living life that was going to be a benefit for myself. So within that being said, I had to learn a different way of eating. You know, I had to learn a different avenue of proceeding when it comes to my fitness. I had to adopt a whole new language. So, with that being said, that took a minute. That took at least about 6 months' time for me to even get over that hump. And that was a huge hump. When I got into a state where I was able to accept my new way of thinking and new life, I began to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I began to receive more information on how to proceed to move forward. I began to realize that even though I was given this diagnosis, I began to say, if I put myself in a mindset and manage it well, that I can not only live a successful life, but I can proceed moving forward one day at a time to get more resources and information. So it was great for me after a while. And mind you, like I said, this was 4 years ago. So it took a minute for, this process to continue on. But I'm so thankful that, with that being said, I was able to understand that every person needs a coach. Every person is going to need more understanding. Everyone is going to have, maybe challenges in life. But even with your challenges, you're able to build from those challenges if you want to. I began to understand that my coaching was going to be different. My way of thinking was going to be different, but it was always going to be something that I can learn from. It was lessons that were going to be able to be achieved with all of this being said. So I'm really excited about just the journey that I went through and just understanding just how to proceed and how to definitely begin to understand how even though this is a new life, even though this is a new way of thinking, it was something that I believe that I can accomplish and do great things. So I'm so thankful for myself to be able to go through this particular process for myself, and honestly, just to be able to up level, just even my coaching, because I always say every coach needs a coach. So I'm so excited to have great people that are actually joining us in this amazing podcast episode. We have our amazing friend Queen Wise here saying hello to me. We also have our amazing friend Queen Val, the global voice. She says hello, taking it one day at a time. Absolutely. I'm telling you, as you begin to accept yourself and accept your journey and how you can always persevere and how you can be great and how you can always learn from anything that's coming before you. You know, long as you don't stay in the effects of something that happened in the past, you can always proceed to move forward. So one thing that I would say about all of this, even for this particular episode, family, I learned a few areas that I learned with this process in the year 2024. Right, I learned how to forgive. I learned there was a process of forgiving and understanding the laws of forgiveness. Forgiveness for myself first, to understand and forgive myself, to say that everything works out for you, and understanding that no matter what has happened in your past or what has happened, that you can control, that you can always learn something. You can always grow from it. I learned to forgive others. I began to learn to quickly forgive others, because when you forgive, you're able to open the doors for yourself to receive even more knowledge and more understanding moving forward. You honestly can. I began to learn a process of understanding that self-doubt is something that, happens. I believe that is a really an effect of human nature, that we self-doubt ourselves. Oh, I did something wrong. It was me. That is a mindset as well, too, that you think that is something that you did wrong. The first thing that you'll think. But one thing, if you begin to change your mindset and thinking of things that are great for you, that are actually going well, honestly, you won't have time to even think about anything that's a doubt effect. You honestly begin to think about the great things that you have for your life moving forward ahead, honestly. And it's so great for me, because I love to be able to help clients of mine to be able to achieve success, because I'm able to share my story and able to show them how I persevered out of a lot and how I began to achieve success. But I didn't give up on myself, because if you don't give up on yourself, you will never lose. You will never lose. So always know that understanding who you are and understanding that you are a person of greatness, that you honestly can achieve great things. And always understand that if you're still here, if you woke up this morning, there is another day that you can continue to achieve great success. Always know that. That's one thing that is very apparent and great for me, that I began to understand just with other people. And I began to understand that all of us are on a journey together. And when you understand that you're on a journey of life, you begin to think and look at things differently. You don't begin to look at things that a problem as an issue, because you're so focused on great things that are happening great for you in that day today. The fact that you woke up this morning, that is a great thing. The fact that you were able to brush your teeth, that is a great thing. And I'm being honest with you, the fact that you were able to clean yourself and no one else had to clean you, that is a great thing. You never think about those things at all until it happens to you. So you can take your experiences and you can take your triumphs and you can change it up, because somebody else is probably dealing with the same effect and they haven't achieved a success that they think they should achieve. But by your story and your testimony, you're able to scope and able to change their way of thinking, and their perspective changes. I'm so thankful to be able to have that opportunity to do that, because I'm able to tell somebody else just how they can win and they can persevere, honestly. And you can do great things when you're able to share your story, because somebody else out there really needs to hear it. So if you just change your way of thinking to understand that my story, somebody else needs to hear this story. Somebody else needs to hear that they can prevail and how they can triumph in their journey by you sharing your amazing story and experiences. It's so important for us to really reflect on things, because when you leave space for yourself to reflect on things, how great they are and how you're still living life today, Somebody else needs to feel and hear that. It's so important for us to begin to understand that. Honestly, you can take your story and you can take it and actually put it in a book form. It could be an ebook, it could be a speech, whatever it is, and be a gift wrap that for somebody to share with somebody else, because they really need to be able to triumph and understand that they can do great things. They can achieve success, family. So I will say for each and every one of you, you can take that story of mine and you can gift wrap it up into your success journal to understand that you can do anything and be anything, and you can always achieve success by understanding this is just an episode. This illness is just an episode. This sickness is just an episode. This regret is just an episode. This breakup is just an episode. Understand that if you are still here, that you can actually achieve great success by understanding that you have another day to continue to soar and to continue to persevere. Honestly, if you just don't give up, I'm here for you. We're all here for you as a community. And we're here to let you know that everything is working out for you. And you can always achieve great success and always maneuver anything that you want to achieve, family, moving forward ahead. So this is this episode today, family, and I really wanted you to have a little insight of my story, because I am encouraged to share my story with so many people to let them know how they can achieve success and how they can be triumph over anything that they want to achieve in their life today. So with that being said, I want to let you know about my latest project that I have. It's called the Believe It Workbook. And it's a Believe It Workbook. It's a journal for you to begin to understand how you can begin to research anything that you need to do in this life today. If you believe that you want to do successful things, whether it's relationships, whether it's your health, whether it is, achieving success with your family, whatever you want to do in your projects, that you can truly do that. So definitely, I would love for you to go in the program with me in the Believe It Workbook program, because it's going to be a great, great opportunity for you to up level for yourself and maneuver anything that you want to do. And honestly, doing the challenge with me is going to be great success. I promise you, taking it one day at a time and to be able to live, to move and breathe and do anything that you want to be. Understand that you have a team with you. You're not by yourself. So that's the great thing that you can do with this amazing workshop and this amazing process in the Believe It Workbook, family. So with all that being said, honestly, don't forget to connect with me on the LekeishaMosley.com for all my resources and all of the amazing processes and courses that I have. And don't forget to connect with me on How to Get Unstuck, Confuse the Focus book, that my latest book that I just created, that I know that you're going to receive so many great successful tools from it as well. And don't forget this particular craft, the So Rockstar shirt. You definitely want to grab your shirt, definitely, and make sure you connect with me on my website. So let me know what your sizes are as well, so I can gift those to you as well. And I'm so excited for us to connect with each other. You already know my show airs on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's always on YouTube. So definitely connect with me in all social media processes as well. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, family. And don't forget to connect with me on next Thursday, because we're going to have an amazing show, family, and an amazing guest as well, too. And I so appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here with me, family. And I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to connect with me next week, family. And I'm just so thankful to have each and every one of you here with us. This is always, always a great time with us. And don't forget, remember, in all you do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always, family. Be blessed. Appreciate each and every one of you.